Greetings, Spartans. I'm Sydnee Goodman, and this is Halo the Series Declassified. This week's episode of Halo the Series saw Master Chief reprimanded for a lack of judgment.
Admiral Keyes, I know.
You know nothing. Because it's not your job to know. It's mine.
Not a great look, sir. And since I don't want to get reprimanded too, I've got to tell you, there are spoilers ahead. So, if you haven't seen this week's episode, grab a bowl of ramen, stream Season 2, Episode 3, and then race back here so we can talk about it. Speaking of ramen, later we get an exclusive look behind the scenes at the creation of the Reach Undercity, including its famous ramen eatery. And if that's not enough, I'm so excited to interview Natascha McElhone, who plays Doctor Catherine Halsey, and Shabana Azmi, who returns as Admiral Margaret Parangoski. But first, this week Master Chief led Silver Team on an unauthorized mission and got in big trouble. Will Kai, Riz, and Vanek ever trust Master Chief again? Here's a look at the complicated relationship dynamics among some of the UNSC's finest.
You good?
Yes, Master Chief.
We're going again. Something you want to say?
It's hard to ignore MC's behavior for the first half of Season 2.
This seem right to you?
Master Chief's relationship has evolved over the course of the 2 seasons in a really pleasing way for me as an actor to get to play.
He definitely goes off the rails.
Cobalt's flight plan. I saw it. They changed it.
Riz's relationship with Master Chief changes quite a lot, actually, through Season 1 into Season 2, and it's between seasons, pelletless, and coming into Season 2, that I think it's the first time Riz is finally questioning things and looking at Master Chief with new eyes.
You lied to us.
I told you what you needed to know to complete the mission.
There was no mission.
Season 2, Master Chief shows the same traits of the vulnerability that he had and, being sort of erratic. He's a dichotomy between a super soldier and a normal human being with human emotions.
They haven't seen what we've seen. They don't know what we know.
He's in a tortured headspace, maybe as usual, but maybe even more so than usual.
I think we find Master Chief in a very interesting place of feeling things in different ways that cause him to make different decisions for himself.
Ackerson thinks there's something wrong with me.
What is the role of agency in being human versus this very clear role of being this super soldier and taking his orders and direction without question from the UNSC?
They were here. I can prove it.
Not like this.
So then in coming into Season 2, everybody seems to be questioning Master Chief's leadership and decision-making. He loses their trust. Kai is maybe one of the last to join the people that are questioning him, but she joins.
Given your recent behavior, would you trust you?
Kai's relationship with John shifts in Season 2. If Season 1 was her kind of discovering her emotions as the pellet came out, Season 2 is her less of a toddler discovering emotions, but more of like a teenager discovering what's right and wrong.
You're not thinking straight. You're erratic.
Since when do you question my judgment?
And for him to lose her trust, I think, is one of the major moments of the season that is hard for him to deal with. I think she's the one that he would prefer to have on his side through thick and thin.
I don't need a friend, petty officer. I need a Spartan.
I never thought there would be so many issues between the Spartans, but there's no one better to help us get to the bottom of it all than the Spartans creator, Dr. Catherine Halsey herself, Natascha McElhone. Natascha, thank you so much for coming by.
Hi, Sydney. Thank you so much for having me back.
So Dr. Halsey remains one of my favorite characters. What do you like about playing her? Like, what makes her such an interesting role?
She kind of lives, not in the world that's surrounding her. She doesn't feel limited by, I suppose, her biological form. She thinks outside of it. If she can imagine things that the rest of us would just think were impossible or would discount immediately, and also the ability and the know-how to execute on some of these ideas. I kind of love drilling and diving deep into that possibility.
At the end of Season 1, Halsey disappeared, but when we find her in Season 2, She's being held in a secret Oni prison. What's going on there?
If you think about her character, she's always been in control. So when she sees the girl, Julia, the girl that keeps being sent is intentional, I think, to drive her to the edge of her sanity. She's being tested by Ackerson, and I think we're seeing the cracks. And then you see them more later on. This is a new experience for her and a very uncomfortable one, I think.
In this episode, like you mentioned, we see Halsey and Ackerson very briefly interact. Can you talk a little bit more about their relationship, especially since, as you mentioned, Ackerson replaced Halsey in overseeing the Spartans?
He thinks he's in control. He thinks he has her ensnared, that he's freaking her out because he's replaying a part of her history, her childhood history. As always, she turns it around on him, and it's a kind of touche moment at the end of the scene, and you think, oh, actually, she does have all her marbles and she's fine, and her operating system is still live and wired.
I have Halsey's actual prop diary. So I feel like I stole your diary or something.
Yeah.
But so this is actually a background Easter egg for fans of the games and is one of the fun details that the producers brought into the show. So how do little details like this help with your performance of the character?
I love that book so much. It's kind of interesting that she has this book. You wouldn't think she would ever go analog. And so it was great for me to have all these clues to her character and the way that her mind worked, which were taken from the game and from the lore.
Amazing. Well, Natascha, thank you so much for coming by Declassified and sharing a little bit more of Halsey with us.
I appreciate it. Take care.
The Reach Undercity is all the rage and is known for the best ramen in the city. We thought you might enjoy a behind-the-scenes tour of that incredible set. Can you do me a favor, though? And grab me some ramen while you're there?
Best in the city.
As you can imagine, finding areas that are going to work for 26th century planets and those kind of environments are pretty tough to find. We found this power station a little way out of town. It was a completely raw shell of a place. For me, what it offered up was this opportunity to be able to create this cityscape. We ended up with this amazing city environment that you could walk through the arcades. We had bars, we had the ramen, we had this kind of arcade set up there where we created with Guy and the set deck team various different gaming platforms, some of which were directly related to the game itself. So you could go and fly a condor in this kind of arcade game. We had key scenes where Master Chief goes to meet the Cortana-like hologram within one of these pay-per-view booths.
Welcome back, customer. Setting your visual parameters.
And there is our task. It's to try and find the realism within these communities, be it on Sanctuary or in Reach, so that you could see how people live, understand what it's like to be off duty as one of these soldiers, what it's like to see the groups of friends that they have, the places that they would go and hang out, and to realize that everybody is like you or me. You know, this is a recognizable reality.
Try it.
If there's anyone who knows about the power of meeting someone for ramen, it's Admiral Parangoski. She did talk to Master Chief over a hot bowl of it in the Undercity. And I'm very happy that I get to talk to the actor behind the Admiral, Shabana Azmi. Hi, Shabana. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for visiting.
Hi, Sydnee.
So can I just say I was so happy when Admiral Parangoski showed up in this week's episode. So talk to me about how she's changed since the end of season 1 to when we pick back up with her in season 2.
I think in the way the scenes are played, that till a long time, you really don't know what she's actually up to. In fact, in the way that she's written, in the first season, she was more or less Parangoski that you could predict. In this season, you see a different side to her.
Admiral? Not anymore. I'm just a private citizen now.
That always makes her character intriguing and much more interesting to play.
So what are your favorite moments or episodes from season 1, or maybe these first 3 episodes of season 2? Do you have anything that stands out?
The ramen scene, I find very interesting. It's very, very cleverly written. We enjoyed doing that, Pablo and I.
I understand that you and Pablo had a little taste test before you shot the scene. How was it?
So first we made the ADs have it. And we said, first you tell us that there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, we're just playing the fool, but it was fun.
I hear that the set and shooting on location, I mean, it just sounds like such a full experience. What was your most memorable moments of shooting?
At the end of season 2, for me, it was a big day in India for a festival called Holi, which is a festival of colors. And so sweetly, David and Pablo just decided to spring the surprise on me. And they brought the colors and they smeared me with it. And then Pablo kept dancing to a Hindi film song.
Oh my gosh.
It was so delightful. I still have photographs of that. And it was just delicious and left me with such a good memory.
The relationships that it sounds like you guys have built, it sounds incredible.
Absolutely.
Shabana, thank you so much for sharing so many stories today. We loved having you on Declassified.
It's such a pleasure. Thank you.
I really enjoyed all of my scenes with Pablo, with Master Chief, because that dynamic was so interesting to me, that power struggle between John and Ackerson.
Put yourself in my position.
But my absolute favorite scene of the entire season was a scene from episode 3 with Ackerson's dad.
Lift your chin up.
Yeah. Played by Bill Patterson. He is a bit of a national treasure where I'm from and just such a wonderful actor.
What the hell's wrong with you? It's funny.
One of my favorite moments from season 2 is a scene between Ackerson and his father, where Ackerson is coming to comfort his dad. We realize in the course of the scene, it's the first time you meet him, that his dad has dementia.
She's gone, Dad. Julia's gone. Mum too. Yeah.
It's just this heartbreaking rendition done by an amazing actor named Bill Patterson of the loss of memory and the pain around not being able to remember the things that you should remember.
It's just you and I know that. I damn well know that. Don't think that I don't know that.
And to play what is possibly Ackerson's most vulnerable scene was first of all just such an incredible opportunity for me to show a different side of the character.
It's a beautiful scene done by Joseph Morgan and Bill Patterson.
Oh, promise me you won't let them take me alive.
I had such a great time this week. It was awesome talking to acting powerhouses Natascha McElhone and Shabana Azmi. And next week, I get to chat with Danny Sapani, who plays Admiral Jacob Keyes, and Bentley Kalu, also known as Vanek 134. We'll be diving headfirst into Halo the Series Season 2, Episode 4. See you back here soon for more Halo the Series Declassified.
I see some hard-ass Marines. What I do not see is doubt, I do not see defeat, and I do not see surrender.
What the hell is this place?
We're not the only prisoners here. Cortana? Dr. Halsey, run.
Light him up!